Hello, everyone. This is Chantal, the founder of the Land of Brand, and welcome to your introduction to blog Marketology. I am excited that you've joined me today. You are in for a jam-packed session on how to market yourself in your spare time, as well as a sweet productivity strategy that will allow you to make the most of every single day in your coaching business. So I am excited to get started, and let's go ahead and move on over to my presentation. As everyone is just logging in, welcome, welcome. It's so good to see you. I'm seeing some familiar faces, which is awesome. All right, so today's topic is introducing blog marketology, how to become a category authority by marketing in your spare time. And we have big plans today. Big plans, lots of information to cover. Get your pen and paper ready to take furious notes. There will be a replay. So if you find that you didn't catch something, no worries. I will send you a replay shortly after the call. And if you have any questions, you can always feel free to email me as well. So today we're going to be covering a stripped down marketing plan that you can keep up with and will build your brand visibility 24/7, a time management strategy that will make you more productive than a woodchuck in a lumberyard, granted that woodchucks chuck wood, the biggest factor that holds coaches back from marketing, and how you can overcome it. Because as you know, your marketing is the lifeblood of your coaching business, and if you're not doing it, then no one is even going to know you exist. You don't even have a chance to stand out in the marketplace. Before we get started, though, let's talk about who is this Holly Chantal chick. So who am I, and why should you be listening to me as I talk to you about marketing? I am a Book Yourself Solid certified coach. If you're not familiar with that, it was written by New York Times bestselling author Michael Port, and it is pretty much the go-to marketing system for coaches and service providers. And it is based on creating a business that is really an expression of you and allows you to market yourself in an authentic way without being slimy, without being smarmy or salesy. So I was certified in this system back in 2009, and I've been a coach ever since, implementing it in my business as well as the businesses of my clients. And it is the basis for everything I do in the Land of Brand. So even though I take my clients through a different system, the foundation is Book Yourself Solid because it is proven to work and really drives with my values. I created the Land of Brand in 2012. I think it's been about 3 years now. Whoa, better get my dates right. So I created the Land of Brand, which is the go-to resource for coaches to build a brand that is an expression of their personality and positions them strategically in the marketplace. And a funny fact about me is that my educational background is actually not in marketing. My schooling is in animal science. I have a bachelor's degree in pre-veterinary medicine and a master's degree in secondary education. So you might say that I'm really good at herding cows and breaking complex ideas down into simple step-by-step pieces. That being said, the reason why I point this out is because the knowledge that I'm going to share with you and the strategies that I implement in my business are not from books. Well, I do read. I do read business books and I do use them, but what I'm saying is that it's not my educational background. I'm not talking to you from an academic sense. Everything that I'm sharing are strategies that I've used in my business, that I've used with my clients to get results, and they work. So I have in the trenches experience. I have made mistakes. I have had awesome successes, and I'm basically sharing with you the best of all of that. And I've used the system that I'm going to be sharing today, specifically, to sustain a multiple six-figure coaching business. And as I said, I started the Land of Brand about 3 years ago, and quickly grew it to 6 figures, and using these marketing strategies. And what I have found is that they are the easiest to keep up with so that you can market consistently. They also allow you to really show yourself as an expert and build a relationship with your clients, which is what I'm all about. So I hope you enjoyed today's presentation. Let's go ahead and get started. So you started your business for probably the common reasons, because you are really passionate about what you do and you want to get paid for it. And owning an online business is awesome. You get to set your own hours, you get to work when you want, how you want, where you want. You get paid for your expertise. You can really charge whatever you want, and you can create whatever your heart desires. Most entrepreneurs and coaches, especially, are very creative people. And you have ideas, you have a big message that you want to share with the world. And having your own business allows you to control what you do day in and day out and create whatever you want. Whatever makes your heart sing, you get to do. And that is why I love my job. And I love doing what I do because it allows me to share my passion and message with the world, as well as it's probably what you want to do as well. So the reason why I really enjoy working with coaches is because they have this passion, they have this message, and they have this deep desire to help people overcome challenges. They want to help the world. And I just love that because it's just such a bigger mission than yourself. You guys are big thinkers, you're creative, you have drive. I mean, really, it's just the world is your oyster. And that is so exciting. It's so exciting when you start your business, and it's so exciting when it really takes off. But the problem is that getting started is hard because you don't just get to live your passion, you also have to run a business. So, unless your passion is marketing, and then you're all set. But you also have to know how to run a business. You have to know how to keep the books. You have to know how to brand yourself. You have to know how to market yourself. There's all of these things that you have to learn that might not necessarily be your expertise or even your interest. You also have to put yourself out there in a big way. So you need to be willing to be the face of your brand, to sell yourself, and to put a price tag on your expertise, which is by no means easy, and it can create a really tough mental block to overcome. You also have to continually grow and learn. Luckily, most entrepreneurs and coaches especially enjoy growing and learning and self-development. And and it also presents very unique challenges because it forces you to step outside of your comfort zone and to try new things and to consistently be challenging yourself, which makes it difficult. Even if it's something that you ultimately enjoy and know you need to do, doesn't necessarily make it easy. And if you can do all of this, then the sky is the limit. You can literally create anything you want. You can achieve any level of business success you want if you can do all these things. Have the ability to run your business, put yourself out there in a big way, and have the drive to continually grow and learn and step outside of your comfort zone. And you can have anything you want. Sounds pretty sweet, right? The problem is, kind of going back to what holds you back from doing all that, is fear. This is the number one thing that holds coaches back from success. It's not lack of knowledge. It is not lack of a market to buy their services. It's not the economy. It's fear. Fear of being seen. So if I put myself out there and as who I really am, imperfections and quirks and all, what will people think of me? Will they take me seriously? Will they like me? We all want to be liked, and we all fear being disliked, offending people, or, just being ignored. We also fear failure. What if our idea doesn't work? What if no one wants what we have to sell? What if we are actually hired and can't deliver on the results that we're promising? And then we also fear success, which sounds a little counterintuitive, but just bear with me. When you've reached a certain point where you actually start getting clients, or you've are at that point where it's time for you to scale up and grow, You might fear getting too much business, and that will actually hold you back from taking that step and reaching that next level of success because you can't see how you're going to handle it right now. So you start playing smaller. You start hitting that plateau and staying there because you are so busy that you can't handle any more clients. Or you're not really sure what's going to happen, what happens with that next step. And for many of you, you're working a full-time job while trying to build up your business so that you can do your business full-time. So you can reach this level of being afraid of succeeding very soon because you're already jam-packed to the gills with your schedule, with your family, with your job, with your business demands. So fear keeps you playing small, keeps you from actually putting yourself out there and marketing yourself consistently. When I started, just to give you a little dose of fear, when I started, I invested all of my savings. This was in 2009, spring of 2009, right after the 2008 crash. I was 24 at the time, so maybe not my brightest moment. I had no idea the effects of that the economy would have on starting a business. I was basically clueless. Like I said, my degree was not in business; it was in animal science. But I really wanted to be a coach. I had attended a conference, my first conference, and met a coach, saw them speak, and was just so inspired and just so jazzed. I felt like something had been unlocked in me that I had been holding in for years. So for me, it was that inner dreamer, that inner flood of possibilities that you believe in when you're a kid, but as you grow up, you start really toning things down and creating realistic expectations. And this coach unlocked that for me, unlocked this idea that anything was possible. And I decided in that moment that I wanted to be a coach, and that is what I wanted to do for people. But it wasn't all peachy keen, even though when I actually did my certification, it was in marketing. I knew how to market. I had actually run a couple businesses before throughout college. So I knew how to run a business and I knew how to market myself online. I had built websites before as it was kind of my hobby, really. But I was stuck in a stop-start cycle for 18 months. I did not have one client because I kept questioning myself. Do I have the right target market? I was kind of flip-flopping between two different target markets. One was the one that I felt most familiar with because it was where I was coming from in the current business that I was in. And then the other one was the market that I really wanted to go for, which was ultimately coaches. That because I just loved their mission and the kind of energy that they have. So I kept flipping back and forth between the familiar versus where I really wanted to be. And so I kept going, stopping and starting because I wasn't getting the traction I wanted and I would have to start over again. And then, do I have the right niche? Am I offering the right thing? What I was offering at the time was very broad. And I kept resisting narrowing down and really owning a certain specialty because I wasn't sure if it was the right one for me. Is this really what I want to do day in and day out? And then last, am I marketing the right way? Am I saying the right things? Am I using the right platforms? Is this really going to be the best return on time for me and return on investment too? The question that kept coming up is, am I doing this right? And when you're starting your business on your own, this is the number one question you have. Am I doing this right? Am I making the right choice? And that will keep you from moving forward because that fear comes up. That fear will keep you from moving forward because what you need is confidence. The answer to that fear and that question, am I doing this right, is confidence. Knowing that you are on the right path. Knowing that these steps that you are taking are going to get you to where you want to be. And having faith in yourself and that you know what you're doing. Because ultimately, you do. You have a certain set of skills. You have a certain set of experiences. You are a unique force to be reckoned with. And what you need is the confidence to pursue that and to express that in your marketing, in your brand, in your business. But easier said than done. So what I needed, and maybe what you need, was a conductor or a mentor slash coach. But let me explain why. And we're going to use this conductor example. So a musician has an instrument. They know how to read music. They have a certain set of skills. They know what to play. So you hand them a song, they know what to play. They technically know how to play it. They can read the music, they can play the song. But a conductor will take them into more than just playing. A conductor will show them how to play more than just a song, how to just not just string the notes together, but to make music, to find their flow. I used to sing a cappella in high school, and people would always make fun of our teacher because he was always so into it. He was always the emotions that he was making, and he was just, a little bit larger than life. But I loved it because the motions that he was making was helping us find our flow, find our rhythm, sing together, and to really do more than we would, one, be able to do on our own, but two, be able to do without him there guiding us and showing us the right way and creating crescendos and adagios and just guiding us to creating music. And your coaching business is no different. Marketing yourself is no different. You need to find that flow. You need to have the confidence and someone to guide you to know that you're making the right decisions, to develop the habits so that you can be confident in making your own decisions going forward. You can't expect to learn how to run your business and to market yourself in a vacuum. You have to have support, and having a guide and a mentor will make that happen faster for you. So that's my first tip here for overcoming that fear and really starting to market yourself consistently. The second factor that prevents marketing is time. There is never enough time in the day because either, like I said, you're working a full-time job trying to start your business, or your business is taking off and you're working on client work, you are creating products, programs, you're creating a website, you're doing all of these things that is preventing you from marketing. So that's what really this course is about, is how can you overcome that time crunch and create a marketing plan that you can really stay consistent with. Oh, I already covered what was on this slide. Sorry about that. So when you start, you're working a full-time job. When you grow, then you're busy with clients. And ultimately, you started your business because you are passionate about what you do. So you're creating your business so that you can do what you love every day. Most of the time, marketing is not there, not one of those things. So it becomes more of a necessary evil. And what that does is it pushes it way down on the priority list. And your priorities become creating your programs, working with clients, doing the things you actually enjoy doing. Marketing is not one of those. So how do you overcome that? I have two solutions for this. One, you make marketing an expression of that passion. You make a marketing expression of that reason that you got into business in the first place. And two, you leverage your marketing to make the most of your efforts. So if you're going to have to do the marketing, why not do it in a way that allows you to make the most of that time, to leverage those strategies that you're using. So how do you do that? So let's talk about, what is marketing really? Because there's some misconceptions out there. Sometimes people use marketing and sales synonymously. And really, marketing is not selling your services. What it is creating awareness of you, that you exist, and what you provide. So marketing is really just putting information out there and being seen. And what it does is it brings people into your sales cycle. So it creates awareness that you exist and draws them into your sales cycle through your website, through your landing pages, through other conversion tools that you have. So once they have started that conversation, that's when the sales process begins. But the marketing is really just kind of getting in front of the right people. So how can you create this awareness and do marketing while also expressing your passion? How can you make it something that you actually really enjoy? Content marketing, I believe, is the best way to do this. And basically what content marketing is sharing your knowledge, sharing your passion, and putting it out into the world so that people find it, resonate with it, and then come back to your website. So how do you do that? So you're going to share your knowledge, you're going to share strategies and stories. This allows you to talk about what you love. So you get to share that passion and what you really enjoy in your marketing. You're also going to be helping people overcome challenges and making an impact on the world through your marketing. So this is in addition to the work you're actually doing with clients. You're still sharing, you could be sharing client stories, you can be sharing stories of your experiences, you can be sharing strategies and tips for people to overcome these challenges and make an impact more so than you can only with clients. And as you're doing this, you're also going to build your credibility as an expert because you're sharing this information that people are resonating with and applying to their lives and it's making a difference. They see you as the go-to expert. And you start to get attention. The more you do your marketing, the more content you're putting out there, you're really creating a critical mass of content that's going to drive people back to you over and over again. And they start to look to you for answers and they start to follow what you're doing. No different than you keeping track of people on Facebook that you knew in high school. Don't lie, you follow what certain people are doing even though you haven't talked to them in forevers. People will start to follow you in that way, not in the creepy stalker Facebook way, but in that they will start to follow what you're doing, follow when you're offering something new, follow when you're putting more content out there that they're interested in. They start to notice you and they start to build this relationship with you, even though you might not even be aware of it. Can't tell you how many times I've gone to conferences or met people at networking events, and they'll come up and say, I've been listening to your webinars forever, or I love your newsletter. And it's like, it always floors me. And because you don't realize who's watching, you don't realize how many people are watching. And it's because you're staying consistent. It's because you're consistently putting yourself out there and they start to build this relationship with you. That's the other side of this, is that people actually feel like they know you because of your marketing. And it makes it so much easier to have that sales conversation and to ultimately work with them as a client because they've already built a certain rapport with you and you're not starting at ground zero. But this is getting very deep into content marketing, and I promise to tell you the bare minimum to be effective. So what is the bare minimum you can do to market yourself and to create this authority, create awareness you need, and to build loyal followers? Before we do that, we're going to first talk about the two types of marketing. that was a little sneaky trick. Building up the anticipation, and then we're going to switch gears. Because I feel like this is really important. You need to understand before you can go down to the bare minimum that you can be doing, you need to know the bigger picture. Because this strategy alone will not serve you as well as the bigger picture will. So this is basically a temporary strategy so that you can start marketing consistently, start building rapport, and it kind of runs in the background as you do other things. So the reason why I've been able to keep up with this strategy for so long is because it is quick, it is easy, and it runs in the background. For instance, when I was pregnant, I was super, super sick, could barely work, and then I had my pseudo maternity leave, and this was able to continue to run and continue to bring in business. But I also do other things to kind of add add more impact and to grow faster. So let me kind of explain what that means. So content marketing is very passive. You are sharing information, you're sharing strategies, and you're putting information out there for people to find and ultimately find you. It's a very slow process because the content that you're sharing is one in millions to billions of other pieces of content like it. So yes, I'm going to show you how to promote them in the right places and those kinds of things, but ultimately, finding your content is going to be much slower with content marketing. Um, the flip side of that is the more content you're putting out there and the longer you're consistent, the more of a critical mass you're building, so that that needle in a haystack becomes more and more needles in a smaller haystack. Relationship marketing is the second type of marketing, and that's more active. It's also more effective, as in it's faster. So this is when you're actively reaching out to people that can get you in front of your market. What do I mean by that? So other professionals in your industry that serve the same market but maybe in a different way. Meeting planners that can book you to speak and talk to their audience and kind of get a captive audience. Magazine editors, bloggers, basically people that have already built an audience that you can put your information in front of. This is much faster and allows you to grow your business in leaps and bounds because you're getting targeted audience, you're getting a lot of traffic at once, and they're obviously interested in your the message or the offer you're going to make because they signed up for it in the first place. For instance, you guys are listening to this webinar. Obviously, you're interested in marketing. So this would be you being on this webinar is going to allow you to learn more about what I do and to build more of a relationship than if you were looking for marketing information online and just found an article. The caveat is that it requires you to step further out of your comfort zone because reaching out to people is way more intimidating than writing an article and putting it on your website. And many entrepreneurs and coaches are on the shyer side, on the introverted side, on the not wanting to put myself out there kind of side, though there are many of you that are totally open to putting yourself out there, and I admire and applaud you. Many of us, though, that's not the case. Many of us are afraid to reach out to other people because we're afraid of that rejection. So you have to step out of your comfort zone, which makes this more difficult, both on an emotional and time level. And you still have to maintain consistency. So you have to be willing to step out of your comfort zone on a consistent basis and keep doing it over and over and over again, which can be wearing. Though, granted, as you start doing it, it will become easier. I can say that. When I first started, I was terrified of reaching out to people, and now it's not that big of a deal. So that just take heart in that for the shy folks out there. So for those reasons, I recommend that you start with content marketing because it's easier for you to stay consistent. You can hone your material and your message, so you actually get better and better and better at what you're doing over time. And it has a lasting effect that builds over time. So content marketing is something that is easy to maintain, it's fast, and you can keep up with it no matter what is going on in your life. So there is always that marketing engine working for you. Then once you've established the right habits and can stay consistent and it becomes less of a chore and takes you less time, then you start adding relationship marketing for a 1-2 punch that also has a longer lasting effect, because even if you're doing a relationship marketing and driving a lot of traffic at once, if you don't have the content and the credibility and the expertise built up already on your website, it's going to have less of an effect than if you were to have all of that ready for the traffic that's coming. So what is the bare minimum that you can do? This is the strategy. This is the bare minimum that you can do and keep up with and build yourself as a category authority. 1 blog post a week, promote it across social media and select article databases. So you're going to promote that article. You're going to do one newsletter at least bi-weekly so that you're staying in front of your audience, staying in touch, and that's it. This is the bare minimum you need to do to market yourself. And it sounds super easy, right? Probably sounds too easy. And if you're having an inkling and you're scratching your head saying, hey, I'm doing that, or there's no way this could work, then you're onto something, because there is something else that you need to do in addition to this in order to make it effective. So in order for this one blog post, because that's ultimately what the most time-consuming piece is writing that post. In order for this blog post to be effective, and you're writing only once a week, it has to have these 6 pieces of strategy built into it. You need to have the right topics, so topics that are going to attract the right target audience to you, topics that are going to build your brand and your message, that are going to have the right keywords, that are going to elevate you as the category authority in the areas of expertise that you want to be. They need to be posted in the right places. They need to be posted where your target audience is hanging out, as well as not just your target audience, but really your ideal clients. They need to be posted in places that are getting traffic and that are going to boost your search engine rankings and drive more traffic to your site. They need to have the right structure, meaning that they need to be easily consumed, they need to be shareable, they need to deliver true value to the reader. The fourth one is the titles. They need to have attention-grabbing titles that get people to click right away. And the titles also need to have the right keywords for the 5th piece, which is search engine optimization. So you need to be optimizing your posts and your titles so that the search engines know what the keywords are that are relevant to that article. And also so that you kind of build the rank of your entire site for these particular keywords. It becomes your brand kind of flags, basically saying, this is what you're telling Google, this is what this website is about. When you're using consistent keywords, you're using consistent titles and topics, you're basically telling Google that this is what you're an expert in. And you're also telling your readers that this is what you're an expert in. And the last but not least, the big picture strategy. Every single post needs to fit into a big picture strategy. You can't just write about anything that comes to mind. This is why it's so important that you create an editorial and a marketing calendar so that you can align the posts that you're writing with products that you're promoting at the time, webinars that you're promoting at the time, other pieces of your business. Everything needs to work together. Because if you're just writing random topics that are coming to mind every week, you're going to be missing a huge opportunity to really leverage your efforts into feeding people into other pieces of your strategy. So I'd like to introduce you to blog Marketology. So blog Marketology is the scientific formula for getting the most visibility and authority with the least amount of time invested. So what it is a 6-week course where we implement as you go. So those 6 strategies that go behind that one blog post you're going to be writing each week, I will help you implement those strategies as we go. So I will be your maestro or your conductor and helping you find your flow and know that you're doing it right. You'll get individual feedback. So as you're writing your topics or your titles or doing your keyword research. Basically, each week is devoted to one of those areas where you're going to nail it down. I'll give you feedback so that it's easy for you to apply to your own business. That's probably the #1 problem with most courses out there, is that even though you're getting great information and it is so relevant to your business, and you know that if you could implement them, the strategies that, the sky is the limit. When you actually go back and try to apply them to your own business, all of those questions come up. Am I doing it right? Should I be doing this or that? The choices that keep you from actually moving forward. So I will give you individual feedback as you do that so that you can develop habits, develop the skills you need, develop the confidence in yourself so that you can move forward as you go. So you can move forward when we're done with all of these strategies and be a master at it. So if this sounds like something you're interested in, and we're not done yet, just so you know, we have we're still going to talk about the productivity strategy, but I wanted to tell you about this now. One, because the timing worked out well with what we're talking about, and also just so that you have time to look at it and see if this program is for you. So if you are interested in that, you can go to thelandofbrand.com/blog Marketology. Just make sure you open it in another window so you don't get yourself out of the webinar. So you might be wondering if this is a good fit for you. So you don't, this program is not for marketing ninjas. So you don't have to be a ninja in order to make this work for you, because the program is going to give you the structure so that you know what to do when. Like I said, each week is breaking down one piece of this very simple strategy. So the strategy itself is very, very easy. The one blog post a week, 2 newsletters a month, promoting it in the right places. So what we've done is we've really drilled down into each of those 6 pieces of strategy that goes behind that one post so that you can accomplish each and feel confident moving forward. For instance, the first week, we start digging for your topics and we create what I call a content cave of 100 different topics that you can be writing on that have the right keywords and are going to be speaking to the right market. So that's what we do the first week, and it's so easy. The method that I use is super easy. Everyone was able to get to 100 topics, no problem. So what you're doing is as you're implementing each of these pieces, you're gaining the practice and the experience so that you know when you're doing it right as you move forward. But of course, I'm also giving you the course correction if you're about to derail, and also the reinforcement that you're doing it right as you go, because you're going to be getting my personal feedback on every single assignment you're doing. I'll help you rewrite pieces. I will ask you follow-up questions. Basically, you're getting me as your coach and conductor through this course. So if that's something you're interested in, please go to thelandofbrand.com/blog-marketology, or click the button on your screen and it'll take you right over there. But for now, as you're looking at that, I want to take you into the second act of today's webinar. So now we're going to talk about a super simple productivity strategy that'll allow you to get more done and market in your spare time. So even though I just gave you a super simple marketing strategy, you still need the time to do it. So this is going to help you find the time and to really do it in your spare time. So productivity is different for everyone. And I just want to kind of put this out there because your expectations of productivity are going to be different than someone else's. Some people thrive when they're busy and others crash. I am one of the people that thrives when I'm busy. When I have 20 projects, I get so much more done than when I have one, because I will procrastinate if I don't have enough to do, basically. If I don't have deadlines that are coming up, then I tend to prioritize other things. But on the other hand, other people don't want to be that busy. Other people cannot handle that pressure and their mind just goes crazy, and they need to really break things down and schedule and systematize things. And there is nothing wrong with either approach. You just need to recognize which category you're in, because it's going to help you be more productive when you know how many clients you can take on without going nuts, how many projects you can be focusing on and still be productive, so that you can really design your business and your marketing plan around your personality. Another difference is some people need a lot of lead time to get into the groove of writing a blog post, while others can jump right in. Some people, they get a topic, they sit down, they write. Other people need to have some kind of ritual. Maybe you drink a cup of coffee on a Sunday morning and write your blog post, and you kind of get yourself into the mindset. For me, I need about 3 or 4 days to, I call it stewing, to stew on a topic before I can write about it. And then once I've done that, I can sit down and write fairly easily. So what I do is I pick my topic usually on Wednesday or Thursday, and then Sunday morning I actually write it. So when you can identify what works best for you, because like I said, nothing's wrong here. Whatever works best for you, you kind of create that habit for yourself. And last but not least, some people need to plan their schedule down to the minute while others can go with the flow. So some people are more of the fly by the seat of your pants. I don't like to have a schedule. I need to have complete freedom. While others, they have to know what they're doing every minute of the day or they don't get anything done. So again, depending on which category you fall in will determine what's going to work best for you with productivity. So I'd like to introduce you to my idea of time pockets. So this is just a strategy that I use in my business. I've used it since I started in 2009. At that time, I did have a full-time job where I was working over 100 hours a week some weeks. It was a live-in position. I worked at a ballet school and I was basically the house mom. And I was managing about 20 ballet dancers, taking them to doctor's appointments, taking them to performances, to competitions, bringing them lunch when they were sick. Like everything a parent does, I was doing for about 20 people. And so I was doing that 100 hours a week. And while I was also building my business. So what I found was throughout my day, I might have time pockets. I would find these 10 minutes here, this 30 minutes there, where I was having a little downtime. For instance, for me, at the time, I would take a student to physical therapy, and maybe I would have 30 minutes of downtime while I was waiting them to get finished. And I was lucky if that happened, because oftentimes I had two students that had two different appointments at the same time, and I was having to drive between them, and most of my time was spent in the car. So I know parents can probably relate to that because you've been there. But you'll find that typically you have 10 minutes here, 5 minutes there, and you can use those times to be productive. So a meeting ends early and you have 10 minutes. Or someone doesn't show up to a meeting and you have 60 minutes. This happens at least once a week for me. Someone doesn't show up. Now I have 60 minutes to focus on something else. You're waiting for your lunch to cook. So you put your lunch in the microwave or you're heating something up on the stove. You got about 5 minutes. Your computer is downloading a file and your internet is so stinking slow that you can't do anything else for 10 minutes. Hate it when that happens. And you have a choice. You can either use this time to check Facebook, watch a video on YouTube, maybe on your phone, look something up, stare into space, or take a nap. No judgment. I have a 1-year-old. I wish I could take a nap. So you have these small pockets of time that you can use to market yourself, because you'll find that activities take less time than you think as well. So you have more time in your day than you realize, and marketing activities take less time as well. So picking a topic and outlining it might take 10 minutes. Writing a blog post usually takes about an hour. Optimizing that post, about 5 minutes. Posting to your blog, about 5 minutes. Breaking the post into status updates for social media, about 15 minutes. I'll show you how to do that very easily in this course. Scheduling those updates might take you 10 minutes. Posting to article databases, about 5 minutes each. And the best thing is, these are like worst case scenario. As you become faster, these will take less time. As you start developing the habits and the routines, these take less time. And many of them can be outsourced to someone else. So I do recommend that you write your own posts and that you create your own topic and title and all of that. But just because it's really you sharing your expertise, you sharing your voice and your personality, I think that's really important. But everything else can be outsourced when you're in a position to do that. But in order to get to the position to do that, you need to start selling your services, which means you're going to have to start doing this on your own first. So what I do is I create a menu, and I have about 4 different post-it notes on. I have like these giant 2x3 post-it notes on my wall that sit in front of my desk. And basically on those post-it notes are my major projects. And I have those projects broken down into bite-sized pieces, and they act as a menu. So I have small to-dos that only take a couple minutes. I have long to-dos that might take a couple hours or a couple days. Easy to-dos, things that are complex, things that are important, and things that are not so important. So when I have downtime, let's say a meeting ends early, I have 10 minutes, I can look at my menu and say, okay, I could knock that out right now in the next 10 minutes. Because most of the time, you're left thinking, okay, what should I work on now? And it takes you a while to even figure out what it is you should be doing. And by then, it's just like, why not go make a sandwich? Or why not go look at a video on YouTube instead of trying to figure out what I should be doing next? So if you have it in front of you as a menu, then you can just pick things off the menu in the heat of the moment and get stuff done. This is how you get those big projects done, even if you're super busy. And this is also how you can market yourself in your spare time. So just to recap, in order for you to live the life of your dreams, your dream business, in order to live your dream life with your dream business, you need to market yourself. You have to put yourself out there. You have to start getting your information out there and position yourself as an expert. Confidence is key, and feeling like you're moving in the right direction will keep you motivated. So you'll get momentum and you'll keep moving forward if you develop the right habits and the right confidence for yourself. Marketing can actually be another way to express your passion and help the people you are meant to serve. It does not have to be a necessary evil that you literally would rather have your teeth pulled than do. And having a coach while you practice will help you gain the experience and the skills to move forward on your own. And that's what the Blog Marketology course is about. So by the end of 6 weeks in this course, you will have a content cave of topics with keyword-rich titles to pull from for the next year. I already mentioned that we create a topic list of about 100. I will show you how to turn those 100 topics. Well, first of all, the fact that you're going to have 100 things to write about, I mean, that's amazing. I will show you how to create 500 titles out of those topics. It's a cinch. Like, it's so easy. Only I think 1 or 2 people in the last course didn't do it, and it was just because they self-admittedly, and I can say this, they said they were lazy. They just didn't feel like doing it. But everyone else was able to get to 500 keyword-rich, really good attention-grabbing, clickable titles. The system is so easy. You're also going to craft a manageable system for promoting content and drive hundreds and/or thousands of new visitors to your website. People that have graduated the course last time were able to add hundreds and thousands of new visitors to their website. I actually had someone that we did her website. It was totally new business, totally new website. She did this course as we were just launching her site. So when the site was launched, she had already been through the course and was able to start blogging right away. She right away was getting at least 100 people a month to her site. Doesn't sound like a lot, but if you're starting from scratch, it's hard to get to that 100 a month mark. You might get like 2 or 3 a day. I'm sorry, 2 or 3 a month. And when you get to the point where you're getting at least 10 a day, I mean, that's when things will really start to pick up for you. And just a side note, but it's only been a few months and she's already completely booked solid. Feel confident that you know that you know what you're doing and ready to put yourself out there. So you're going to overcome those limiting fears that is keeping you from moving forward and putting yourself out there, and know that you're doing the right thing. You'll have your keywords and your categories already implemented into your website for SEO. So I will help you choose your keywords. We will write your categories. I will show you how to implement those into your blog posts so that you're going to have the maximum leverage. And you're going to be able to keep up with everything with ease because you're going to be a marketing ninja. I said before, you don't have to be a marketing ninja to start this course, but you will be one by the end. That is my promise to you. You will know what you're doing. Not only that, you will know what you're doing, but you will have already started to do it. That's usually the hardest part, because applying strategies to your own business is where things get challenging. And I'm literally going to walk you through doing it and give you feedback as you implement. So what is the format? 6 weekly webinars. Half of the webinar will be presenting the topic and the assignment. So for instance, first week is topics. We'll be talking about topics, what makes a good topic, what makes a bad topic, and then how to write them. And then we're going to be doing examples from participants. So I'll take participants' businesses and start doing their homework for them so you can see how it works. Oftentimes, seeing how it works and having it and how it would be applied to your own business is all you need to get started. And you can submit your businesses to be a part of the example. An online learning environment to post your assignments privately, so no one else will be able to see them but me. So each week you're going to do your assignment and post it in the online learning environment, and then I will go through it personally and give you individual feedback, suggestions. I'll rewrite things for you and give you the information you need so that you can apply the strategies to your business. So we're not just talking theory here. You're actually going to be applying them so that at the end, you built the right habits, you have a lot of the marketing pieces in place, and then literally all you have to do is just write the blog post each week and just run it through the system that you've been given. You're not going to be having to choose keywords each week. You're not going to be having to write new titles and topics each week. You're not going to be needing to figure out what your categories are. All of that's going to be done. All of those hard decision-making parts that hold people back will be finished. All you have to do is write. And at the end, we will also create your editorial calendar that jives with your marketing calendar to make sure that you know what you're writing in the future and that it's all just creating this marketing and sales system that's going to work for your business. So if you are interested in the course, you can go to thelandofbrand.com/blog Marketology. If you have any questions or would like to jump on the phone and see if this is going to be a good fit for you right now, you can email Holly at thelandofbrand.com. I am happy to assist you in any way I can. I hope that I'll see you in the course. I think that this is for you if you have a website and you're not marketing yourself. This will get you started. This will give you that kick in the pants you need, as well as the guidance you need to make sure that you're doing it right. So I hope that you have enjoyed today's presentation and that you are leaving with some awesome ideas to go ahead and start implementing in your business and be more productive, as well as start establishing yourself as a category authority. I hope you all have an awesome, awesome day, and I will see you soon. Bye, everyone.